We have reached the summit. We are at the final round for CFT. It's the CFT 26 live for College Football 26 live from BVG Studios. I am that other guy alongside my beloved and just all around good guy, Brownsville Gamer.
And it's Oregon at Boise State. For Oregon, they enter 3-2. If they win this game, they should be in the Elite Eight. But for Boise State, they could serve as a spoiler. It's an interesting game because for Oregon, they've been trying their hardest to try to get their way into a comfortable space in the tournament. And they've been struggling going into the past, I would say, couple of games. So for Oregon, it's a must-win if they try to make it into the playoffs. And for Boise State, they want to show that they can still stomp with the big dogs.
Well, yeah, I mean, Boise State, they showed some promise, but unfortunately they just couldn't hang on when they needed to, and they lost the games that they were supposed to win. So
I mean, talking about losses, they lost to Ole Miss, they lost to Indiana, and they lost to Bowling Green, all at home.
Whoa, I was going to ease into losses. You just went straight forward.
I mean,
but anyway,
not? You mentioned it.
But yeah, they lost some really tough games, especially at home, because they had mostly home field throughout most of this tournament, and unfortunately, they just couldn't get the job done. So, you know, tough break for those guys. I wish we could have had a bowl game for them, but we don't have those things at the CFT. So we're gonna see if they're gonna play a spoiler. Already, they're getting off to a really good start, running for 5 yards. I mean, as you can see, they won a bunch of Fiesta Bowls, so hey, hats off to them. What do you think Oregon has to do? Because like I said, they're playing for their playoff
Before
lives.
we get into Oregon, let's first stay with Boise State for a moment, because I think one thing we should try to acknowledge is that although they're down 3 games, could they potentially serve as a spoiler to Oregon? Since you want to talk about Oregon for a bit, could Oregon take this on as a challenge that will be an easy defeat? Or could Boise State serve as that challenge that can prevent Oregon from making it to the playoffs?
Well, I think, like I said, they're playing at home. They're going to have the home field advantage. I think
Although we're seeing a 3-and-out right now, it's now 4th and 1.
Which is fine. I mean, it's early in the game. But back to piggyback what you're saying, I think if they stay consistent on what they're doing here and try to contain Oregon's high-powered offense, I think they will have a chance. For Oregon, they're playing for their playoff lives. If they win this game, they're in. It's basically a win-and-end situation. If they lose, their season's done. And Notre Dame can probably sneak in with an Oregon loss here. So let's see what happens.
Well, speaking of Oregon, they're currently ranked 6 in, going into round number 6. They have wins against Arizona State. They beat Georgia on the road. I think that's the most quality of wins that they have. And they beat UConn. They only lost to Indiana, and they lost to Notre Dame, which you just mentioned, on the road. So Oregon has some pretty quality losses. I mean, these are like top 10 losses, including Indiana, that's arguably the top seed.
Right, but we don't reward people with quality losses. We reward them with wins and points.
That's true.
And Oregon is lucky enough to be in the position where they're still fighting for a playoff spot. So,
I agree. They're sitting on the 6th position, and if they win, they should roll down possibly to the 6th, maybe the 7th. But scores matter, so let's see how well Oregon can do here. They're in a tough situation because it's now 3rd and 12 at the 44. So they'll have to make something big happen here in order to keep the ball in possession.
yeah, the crowd is absolutely hyped up. You see the stadium post is high. Let's see what they're going to do, and they're going to dump it off and get absolutely nothing, and it's now going to be 4th and 12, which is most likely going to be a punt.
Yep, they're going to give that back to Boise State. And for Boise State, I think that for their defense to try to hold down a high, fast-paced Oregon team, how long will this last? Can they hold this for 4 quarters? Because this is the type of Oregon team that can wear out a defense.
Well, you do have a point there. Oregon is one of the top teams in the country. Boise State, they're here. They're part of the Mountain West. Even speaking of Mountain West, we do have a team representing the Mountain West. We'll talk about that later. But I think Boise State, what they have to do, they have to stay consistent on offense and defense, especially on defense, because you want to contain Oregon. If you let Oregon just get a sliver of opportunity, they're going to exploit it and can spell big trouble for the Broncos.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what happens right now as Boise State still holds possession as we go 2nd and 10 at the 20. And right now, the quarterback, number 4, steps back, gets it to the wide receiver. It's going to be probably about 5, make it 6. So now it's 3rd and 4. This should be something that they can try to salvage here.
Yeah, this is a manageable down. I mean, you can open up the playbook here. You can run the ball. You
Right.
can do a play action pass. You
Right.
can have the you can pass it. So there's plenty of opportunities to do something here. So let's see what they're gonna do.
They're going to try to do something on the 26 to move the chains. Number 4 stays in the pocket,
Got
gets
it.
the throw out, and was able to connect, and that's going to be a first down by wide receiver Sherrod, number 8. And right there, it's going to put them at the 38-yard line as the clock is ticking down to the last 90 seconds of the first quarter.
Well, he better catch the ball if his name is Sherrod.
I mean, at this point, let's see what Boise State can do to capitalize on that first down. Gets it,
and they go nowhere.
Doesn't get much at all. That's a loss of 3.
Yeah, it's now going to be 2nd and long. Quarterback's slow to get up. He's getting slammed out there. The line's got to do a better job of protecting the quarterback.
Yep.
I think that's one of the reasons why Boise State's been struggling in this tournament, because they don't have a pretty decent line
Right.
to keep the quarterback, giving him time to get the ball off or away.
And when you're going up against an offense like Oregon, you're going to need a strongly contested defense if you're going to try to hold these players down, especially for a Boise State team that they're not afraid to go man-to-man against a defense like Oregon.
Yeah, you do got a point there. I think the problem is, this is like I said, they've just been very, they remind me of Clemson. Very inconsistent, very, so. One week they look good, one week they look like they don't deserve to be here.
And looking at that
And
pass,
they're going to get another, oh no, he dropped
but he
it.
couldn't hold on to it, but I think they gave them the first down.
Wow,
So he
what?
was able to hold on to it. Unless there's a contested challenge, it looks like it's just going to continue with Boise State moving down to the 48.
I'm sorry, that was not a completed pass. It popped out his hands, but they're going to keep the chains moving, I guess.
And with no called challenge, it's going to move on now to the quarterback passing it to
another dump off, and it's going to go nowhere.
Only a gain of 5, so it's some positive yards there. As we end the first quarter, it's 0-0. It is a interesting match
look at
because
this.
Oregon is not generating any bit of offense. And for Boise State, they're barely getting it out on the air, and they're not doing much on the ground.
Hey, but I'd rather do something than be the -2 yards.
Well, yeah, they're not generating anything. So, will Boise State capitalize on that? Boise State has possession as they move down.
And they're going to get the first.
It's the first. And that's going to be a gain of maybe 6 or 7 yards for Sherrod.
Sherrod, with a name like that, he should be having more than 16 yards on the ground. But hey, it is what it is. But the chains are going to keep moving. just ignore that. Don't ignore it. His name is Sherrod. Just take that as you will. Anyway, it's 1st and 10, and the ball is at the, right in close to the red zone. Do you think that this was disappointing for Boise State as being the 2nd team or the 3rd team in the Mountain West since the inaugural tournament? Because remember the inaugural tournament, we had a lot of Mountain West teams that were in, and now this year is only 2. What do you think?
It's not about the quantity, my friend. It's about the quality. I mean, these are teams that have demonstrated that they can go toe-to-toe with any team in the country. And we're looking at it right now as Boise State, the Broncos, get another first down.
Well, I beg to differ on that, because if they can go toe-to-toe, they would be in the playoffs.
Maybe. But right now, Oregon has to respond to what's going on right now, because number 8 is highly composed and moving right down the field.
But like you said, can they keep this up for 4 quarters?
We'll find out now as we continue. They're at the 24. Nice fake. Stays in the pocket. Gets jammed, but is able to throw it out before it was made for a sack. So now it's 2nd and 10.
He held that ball too long. He should have already got that ball away.
Agreed. That should have been gone maybe like 2 seconds.
Luckily enough, he was able to get the ball off in time. I mean, he threw it to, I guess, a souvenir for the fans. But, he should. And that's a problem with a lot of these quarterbacks. They hold on to the ball too long. You see the pocket collapsing, either get out the way or get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's it. Tries back to pass. He's going to pass it, and he's going to get it. And he's in.
And Boise State, the Broncos score first as they get their first touchdown. And right now, if you're Oregon, you're wondering, wow, how did we let this happen? I mean, this is not the type of team that we would be so quick to assume they would get down the field like this. But here they are. They scored first. and look at the tight end, number 85, that athleticism, it just allowed him to just get through that defender just like that.
You know, number 85, Matt, random sitcom name, last name Lauder. He got the ball off and no one was near him and he got the touchdown. I mean, with a name like that, if you got a cool sitcom name.
I mean, he forced separation right off of that one defender, so it was just no chance that anyone was going to get him.
I mean, the guy looks like he's playing tight end on Tuesdays and got must-see TV on NBC on Thursdays, but hey,
Nonetheless, it was a 12-play drive for 4 minutes for 70 yards, a well-earned touchdown for Boise State.
Well, as you can see, the crowd is hyped. They are happy that they got a lead against Oregon. Oregon needs to step up. You don't want to go down too far against this powerful, should be in the playoffs, but they're not, Boise State.
Well, we'll see right now as Oregon has possession. Playing at the 21, gets it in for about 6 yards, and that'll now be 2nd and 4 at the 27.
I don't know what he's upset about. I mean, you got positive yards. Do you expect him to throw a touchdown that one play? Sir, relax. You're down by 7.
You want him to complete that. And I get it.
He did it.
He did. He managed to move the chains. So now...
He did move the chains. It's 2nd and 4.
Gets it back to the halfback.
Well, got it now.
Gets the first down. And now they're going to be at the 37. Number 20 was able to move down the field.
As you can see, they're throwing up the O. I don't know when you throw up the O, just getting a 15-yard first down or 20-yard. I mean, whatever. But
look, this is what we would call momentum. They're trying to, find that tempo to get
score.
down the field.
Hey, like you said, just to score.
Bam! Able to get that once again for another first down.
They're gonna be at midfield.
And here they are.
Throwing up the O again.
3 straight answers. Nothing from Boise State at the moment. And looking at the quarterback, number 5, notices the wide receiver was open, and if the wide receiver just had enough space not to collide into that defender, could have gone for more yards.
Yeah, instead of he wants to throw up the O like he did something.
Goes back to the halfback, number 6. That's going to be about 5 yards.
You going to throw the O now?
And now it's 2nd and 5 at the 45.
Did he just... Wow, okay.
Well,
I see what type of game this is going to be.
Well, look, the refs didn't say anything.
No, it's not a fouling thing. It's just, you little bro in this guy, and you're still down by a touchdown, dude. Relax.
Here we are now at the 2-minute warning. Now, as we go into the 2-minute timeout, Oregon's going to try to respond at the 46.
I guarantee you, BBG, if you was a coach on the sideline, you see your players doing that, that could have been a pick.
That should have been a pick.
If you see your running back doing that and they're down, I'm pretty sure you would not be happy when he gets back to the sideline.
Oh no, that's a conversation very quickly. That's a reminder of we don't mentally mess up and think that that's something that we should be doing at this point of the game. Like that's an easy talk. Easy talk.
Yeah, the crowd is hyped. They're trying to get a stop here. It's 3rd and 5. Is Boise State going to get a stop? And they are not going to get it. As they're in the red zone, Oregon is.
That is a very big play by number 18.
They love throwing up the O.
They managed to get that ball out, and now they're playing at the 10. Look at number 5. If you notice that the defender right there, number 55, thought he had him covered, but number 18 was far ahead and took advantage of it for a big reception. Now there's a timeout called by Boise State. First timeout called as we move down to the last 1 minute and 40 seconds of this first half.
Let's see, can Oregon cap this drive off with a score? Let's see what they're going to do here.
Gets it to the halfback. Moves for about maybe 3-4 yards.
Oh, wait. There's a lot of movement, and somebody's hurt.
Now we see a injury by Isaiah World. And now
his name is Isaiah World.
That's what it's named. And right now, we go into 2nd and goal. We'll see if World comes back.
See, you throw up the O now.
Number 5 steps back, screens it out, doesn't get anything there, and that's going to be 3rd and goal.
No loss, no gain, just stagnant. And let's see. I mean, they still got time. They got 2 timeouts. You think this is 4-down territory?
I mean, you want to get as many points as you can before the half ends, but you don't want to give really, really good field position for your opponent. So right here at the red zone, number 5 steps back, And that
Got it.
should be a touchdown for the Ducks.
And the Ducks are going to tie this game up. It's 6-7.
And they should, oh, Jesus. They should be.
Look, it's 6-7.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not going to try, but he just got a end name.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, did you see? You didn't see it. His name is Moore. I'm going to call him Moore. The game is tied. 1:27 left to go. Oregon State is going to tie the game after this extra point, which they should be able to get, unless they want to be bold and go for 2.
That would be interesting to do that before they go into the half.
But I don't think they're going to do that. They're going to be surefire and take
I
the
mean,
surefire.
it's not necessary right now. Like, they're in a comfortable situation where they can just go for the extra point. They don't need to be that aggressive. But they managed to get a 9-play, 80-yard drive in, and now the game is tied. Can Boise State respond before the half ends?
Honestly, I think just take it to half. You know, I mean, if you get something quick, cool. If not, just take it to the half.
Well, Boise State got some time. If they can get into field goal territory, wouldn't be bad to be in the lead by 3.
You got a point there, but I mean,
You're going to have to do it from deep, though.
Yeah, they should just, took a fair catch, but whatever. They got to go, 90 yards probably? And what is he doing? Get rid of the ball. Oh, my goodness.
And gets caught up by Bear Alexander with a big sack.
This is what I'm talking about. If you see the pocket collapsing, get rid of the ball
out of your hand.
Now you just lost damn near 10 yards.
The defensive tackle was able to see that the quarterback couldn't capitalize on making a play, and that was a very big sack.
That's what happens when you have the dreadlock powers. You become unstoppable.
And now it's 7-7.
Jesus, they lost that many yards?
And now they're at the 5-yard line with less than a minute to go.
It is 2nd and 21.
5 seconds to get the snap out. Is able to get it in. Doesn't gain that much. In
fact,
they
do get out of danger, so I'll give them that. They do get out of danger.
It's now 3rd and 21.
Oh, wait, they didn't even gain nothing.
Didn't gain anything. Still at the 5-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
They'll have to do something massive in order to move the chains. Otherwise, Oregon will get the ball back with about 30 seconds left.
Let's see. They got to pass. They don't got a choice.
They have to get it out of the way. Stays in the pocket, goes deep.
Got it!
Makes a connection. And that receiver is still
and he gets out of bounds
with a big move by Madsen.
And they called timeout with 1 remaining. That's basically going to get them halfway. They're well past mid. They're well in midfield now.
That gives them a lot of breathing room.
They might do what you say. They might be able to get in field goal range.
If they can get maybe 15 to 20 yards in, they should be able to do it. And that right there is going to be another first down.
That was going to be the last timeout.
Well,
no, they didn't get it.
It's 2nd and 1, but they've used their final timeout. So if they're able to move down maybe 5 to 10 yards, they can set up for the field goal.
Let's see what they're going to do.
Quarterback steps back, gets the first down, and I think that here would be an opportunity for the field goal. Although the clock is stopped at 25 seconds, so they can try to go for an extra. Nope, the regular clock resumes. And they should be trying to go for a field goal at this point.
Well, let's see. No,
they're not. They're going to try to punch it in for 6.
What are they doing? Just take the
points. Are they going to go for the 6?
He gets it. But they're not going to be able to get to the line in time.
They're going to have to rush it and get to the line in time, maybe spike the ball.
Oh, my goodness. And you're celebrating. Like,
they could have gotten a possible 6, but they couldn't get it done. They could have gone for the easy 3, but they decided to give up 3 points. I don't understand what I just saw here. This should have been a 3-point lead, but instead they decide to take it to the second half. Talk to me about this.
Well, let's look at the stats. As you see, Boise State is pretty much outside of rushing yards. They're leading in every single category outside of rushing yards. That's a really time management issue. They should have been able to get to the line, spike the ball with at least 1 second left, and you could have better got the kickoff. You want to sit here and show, but what is with these teams? Oregon's throwing up the O. These guys are going like this. Get the point. This is one of the reasons why Boise State in the position that they're in right now, because they're playing. This is not the time to be playing down the competition. You are trying to play spoiler. I understand that. This is probably going to be one of your last games of the tournament. Oregon is fighting for a playoff spot. You need to get as much points as you can when you can. Right. And that was a perfect opportunity to do so, and you squander it.
Three points right there.
Those 3 points could come back to haunt them. Let's see what happens here. We start the third quarter with Oregon getting the ball. Almost said Oregon State, a team that doesn't belong to be here anyway. Oregon gets the ball. Can they tack on more points. Oh, they're not going anywhere there.
Well, that's not going to happen with a loss of 2. Now puts them at the 17-yard
See, this is what I'm talking about. You sitting here doing beat it moves and you're tied. You should be in the lead. This is why you guys are not going to playoffs. You'll be watching the playoffs just like everybody, just like Oregon State. At home.
So here's my question to you: do you think that Boise State should be a lot more ahead?
They should have a lot
more than 7 points. Or are you saying that they should be like? What do you think should be?
I think they should have a little bit more discipline. Look at this. Have more discipline on the field.
And that's another first down for Oregon.
I'm expecting Oregon to probably score in this possession. But Boise State, you need to take points at every advantage as you can. And I think that 3 points is going to come back to haunt them. I really think so. It's going to come back to haunt them. But nonetheless, Oregon State is going to keep the chains moving as we are a minute into the third quarter with 4:04 left to go. Oregon State is at the
38.
And they're going to get about maybe 7.
6. Yes, make it 7. So it's 2nd and 3 at the 45.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Oregon, let's just say hypothetically, Oregon pulls this out today. Can you see them going as far as they did last year in last year's tournament and this year's tournament? Do you think that the field is much more tougher this year than it was last year? Because remember, they made it to the semifinals.
Yes. I think that this is not going to be an easy run. First off, if they're able to hold on as a 6 seed going into the quarterfinals, I would be surprised, right? I wouldn't be surprised if other teams do well in the 6th round where Oregon State might drop down a place, maybe 2. Mm-hmm. But if they make it in, I can't see them getting past a quarterfinal finish. Like,
wait a minute.
That run, that's going to be a big reception. Puts them now at the 20-yard line by number 2. I mean, does that change my opinion? No, but it really shows that the wide receiver is ready to go to try to make it for a possible 6.
Yeah, you do got a point there. They're now in the red zone with 2:47 left to go. This third quarter is flying by as Oregon State has had the ball for majority of this quarter. Can they cap off this drive? No, it's dropped. What a hit.
It's not a drop. That was a received pass, and that's actually a gain of 3.
No, it looked like he dropped it, but I guess it looked like his ball popped out of his hands.
I mean, this is your second play that you feel that the...
I clearly saw the ball popped out of his hands. So, yeah, the fix is in. They want Oregon in. They want the big teams in, huh?
I don't know. People are making calls, and even if they don't get it right, they shouldn't be in the position where it comes down to a call. At this point, that's a reception, and that's going to be a gain of about a few yards, so it puts them at 3 and 2 at the 18-yard line.
3rd and 2 with a minute, just about under 2 minutes left to go in the third. It's still anyone's game. I mean, it's still a tie game. It's been a pretty defensive battle so far. Teams only scoring 7 points. So let's see what happens. Can Oregon cap this off? Drops back to pass. Got it.
And that's going to be a Ducks touchdown. And now the Ducks are responding and they take the lead.
They're going to be up 14-7. They're going to have a possession lead with 1:42 left to go. Let's look at Justice Lowe?
Yes.
Okay, because that's not how you spell justice. But,
wide open. Was able to get that reception with ease.
Boise State over here thinking like they're, in a beat it music video instead of playing defense, and that's why they're down.
With 1:42 remaining in the third, Boise State's going to get the ball back. Let's see how they respond. But before they do that, they're going to go for the extra point. So that'll make it 14-7. Here it is. And makes the upright. 8-play, 81 drive for 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Like you said, that was a significant portion of the quarter dominated by Oregon, but at least they were able to make 7.
Right. They held the ball for majority of the quarter, which is great. Because now it kind of puts some pressure on Boise State to try to respond. They might get something here.
And he's moving down to the 45.
They're already going to start at midfield, which is great.
Near midfield. They're at the 45.
Great way to start your drive.
Wakes up the offense.
Yes, that's what they need. They needed something. So this is going to be great.
Special team.
And the quarterback's going to take off.
Hold on to it.
And he's going to get the first.
10. And that's going to be about 14 yards.
That quarterback needs to slide. He is not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Jackson Dart. Slide.
Well, he was able to make some moves right there. Look at it again by number 4.
But you got to be careful,
block
man.
Right there. That was able to
Look
allow
at
him to
that.
go up the field.
Look at that collision. He could have lost the ball here. Slide, brother, slide.
Well, now they're at the 42. Gets it to the
Nowhere.
halfback, and that's going to be a loss of 2.
The defense saw that coming a mile away, and they sacked him for 2 yards. But like I said, they're in midfield, so they got something going here. 53 seconds left to go in the third. The score 14-7. Oregon. Can Boise State tie the game? Let's see what they're going to do here.
Well, they're near midfield at the 43, and for the quarterback, look like he's going to go for a passing play here. Number 4 steps back, gets it. Going to be a gain of about 8. So now it's 3rd and 4 at the 35 with about 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
The quarterback, I don't know, what is he looking like there? You got the pass off. Yeah, he couldn't get far.
Damn.
You threw it in the coverage. What you expect was going to happen?
And with that, it winds down to the last 20 seconds. It's going to be enough for maybe about a play. Steps back, still looking. Number 4 connects.
Got it.
That's going to be a first down.
That's going to put him near the red zone. And that's going to probably take us to the fourth quarter as we are getting there now. It's 14-7 Oregon as we get into the fourth and final quarter. BBG, any thoughts of what Boise State needs to do as we look at the wide receiver comparison?
Well, right now, they have a wide receiver that can make some receptions. You got to trust your passing game because the running game is getting clogged up by the Ducks. And Oregon is not letting go. They are still relentless as they're going down the field. So as long as you can, change that momentum and force some 3-and-outs, maybe we might see a comeback by Boise State.
Oh, they get it up first.
Quarter, and that's going to be a very good run by Sherrod. Another key factor if Boise State's going to try to get back into the game.
Sir, focus. This man's doing the gritty.
So right there is another first down. And with the clock ticking at the 11, they're going to need to make something happen
plenty
here.
of time. I mean, they're right here. They should be able to punch their ticket here.
But they shouldn't go for 3. If they can aim for 6, that'll be much better. Off the screen, it's going to be a gain of 2. So now it's 2nd and 8.
You threw it, pal. Don't look at the court. Don't look at the receiver. You threw it. So I don't know what you're looking at the court. I don't know what you're looking at the receiver for. It is now 2nd and 8 with 4:13 left to go in the game. Boise State needs to knock on this door and open it if they want to stay alive in this game.
Steps back, fakes it, stays in the pocket.
Oh
and
my
is
goodness!
sacked
Get rid of the ball. You just
by number 52.
3rd and 15, folks.
And now they're at the 16-yard line.
What are you getting mad for? It's your fault. You should have got rid of
Excellent
the ball.
position for them to go for 6, but Amari Washington, the defensive tackle, he was able to get his first sack of the game with that quarterback being exposed.
It is now 3rd and a long. Boise State, if they don't come away with points in this drive, this could be it for them.
I mean, they'll probably go for 3, but they should try to get a tied game here.
Oh my!
That blitz was way too strong.
How did you not see that?
3rd sack from Oregon.
I'm not gonna lie, that defensive line came in quick. He barely had time to even react.
The blitz was coming.
Let's look at this
and there
again.
was no response.
Dylan Thielman, he came in like a bat out of hell and just blitzed the quarterback. Wow. What does Boise State do? They go for it here?
No, absolutely not. I mean, at 4 and 23, that's just not the right move. An easy 3 would be, the right thing to do. Right? Try to get points on the board. There's still 4 minutes left. And with the field goal by Boise State, they're now trailing by 4.
It is 3:10 left to go in the game. Boise State, honestly,
they need a key stop.
They got to get a stop. If they don't get a stop here, the game is over.
They get the ball back. They can try to go again, add another 3, and they'll be, down by at least a touchdown.
If Oregon winds it down to 2-minute warning, Boise State may never see the ball again.
Well, we'll see. Both teams have 3 timeouts as we now go to a Ducks possession with 3:06 remaining at the 19-yard line. Quarterback gets it and keeps it in the air for a first down.
They're going to keep the chains moving with 2:58 left to go. Just under 3 minutes left to go in the game. Boise State's got to get a stop. If they do not get a stop, If they allow Oregon to wind down this clock, they will never see the ball again.
Clock is now down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds at the 33-yard line. 5 minutes on the play clock. Tries to get the snap out. Is able to do it, but doesn't gain anything. So now that's 2nd and 10. Stops the clock at 2 minutes and 22 seconds at the 33-yard line.
And that helps Boise State because now they don't have to use a timeout. So
Slows them down by default.
I'm assuming if they don't get anything here, this is probably going to take us to a 2-minute warning.
Yep, this should be the final play.
So let's see what happens here. Oregon's going to hand it off, and they're going to get about maybe 7.
And Boise State calls the first of their 3 timeouts.
Yep, 7 yards, 3rd and 3.
A very key play for Oregon.
This is a very important stop here.
They can get a first down. Moving the chains
game is
allows
over.
for the clock to move. Boise State can get a key stop here. Keep the game alive.
they're not.
But that's not going to happen as Oregon gets another first down.
As
Uses another timeout
they got
from
one left.
Boise State.
I don't think Boise State's going to see they're not going to see the ball again. They're not. They're already going to be down to 1 timeout left. They're not going to see the ball again. If Oregon gets another timeout, this game is over. They're going to hand it off.
Gives it to the halfback, contains him.
And there goes all Boise State's timeouts. So that's it. If they don't get a stop here, they can't stop the clock.
And that's the rough thing. I would have just let the clock run, get it to the 2-minute warning.
Exactly. Now
that's a free timeout that you just wasted.
Now you just used up all your timeouts. You still got a 2-minute warning, and now you can't stop the clock if they get the first time after this 2-minute warning.
Don't know if that's a really good, smart play by the coach.
They're gonna get the first.
And with that spin, gets a bit more.
Now it's gonna take us to 2-minute warning. If Boise State don't stop them on this next drive, the game is over. The game is over because, again, this go back to my point. If they didn't get stopped, they're never going to see the ball again. And they could never see the ball again. Let's see what's going to happen here. I think they're going to just take a knee. Yeah.
Here they go. They're going to run the clock down.
Yeah, they're just going to take a knee. That's it, folks. That's going to do it. Boise State never saw the ball again. Oregon State is going to narrowly, and I mean narrowly, sneak their way into the playoffs with a narrow victory, 14-10 over Boise State on the road.
Well, let's see what happens here. There's still time left, but I do agree with you. At this point, just burn the clock. And that's not going to be a connected pass.
What the hell are they doing? Because that stops the clock. What are they doing?
Nope.
Why would you do that? Just run the ball.
If they try to get a touchdown, then that's just insurance.
You don't need to do that.
But they should run the clock.
Just run the clock out.
And now they're going to have to do something big on 3rd down.
Can you explain that to me? What's the point of you taking a knee? You're going to take a shot down the field? That doesn't make sense.
Now they're going to have to commit. Gets it, but that's not going to be enough.
Oh, my goodness.
Makes it 4th and 4 with about a minute to go in the game.
They just
begs the question if Oregon needs to go for it.
No, they just mismanaged this fucking clock. Why would you need to go for it?
You're going to have to burn the clock down. It gives Boise State.
Oh, my God, they're going for it.
But they're going to go for it. They might as well commit.
What the hell?
If not, Boise State's going to get some yard, at least 30. They're going to play at the opposition at 30. And that makes it a turnover on downs.
You just gave Boise State life.
Now they're playing at their 31.
They're going to dump it off. Get out of bounds. Oh, my goodness.
Does not do that. Now the clock's still running with 20 seconds left.
This game is over.
2nd and 5. I mean, they're not even moving with any tenacity.
Oregon,
they're trailing.
Look, anyway, Oregon is going to advance to the playoff. They have just clinched their spot with this win. This game is over. Boise State, you got to lose. That's why you're not going anywhere.
Yep, this is pretty much a done deal. They're going to only go for one more play if they throw it deep.
And it's a damn dump off, and he doesn't even get out of bounds.
And it doesn't matter anymore because Oregon will win their 4th game. That should put them into the round of 8. Final score, 14 Oregon, 10 Boise State. Player of the game with 181 yards with a 73% completed pass rate.
Mr. Dante Moore is the player of the game. They're the lovable winners. Barely winning, but wins a win nonetheless. As the losers, Boise State Broncaps, they're going to be pretty much, that's probably means going to be done for them for the season. I just can't believe Oregon State, they They can't get away with this in the playoffs. You can't
Nope.
do this.
It was
can't
way
do
too
this.
close for comfort, and I think that this is an example of if you can't beat talent like Boise State, what's going to happen if you face a team like Texas? What's going to happen if you? Who says you might hit Ohio State, depending on where you are seated? So if you can't beat these teams now, good luck doing that as you make it to the playoffs. But nonetheless, good job for Oregon.
Yep, and that's going to do us here for another edition of the CFT for College Football 26. We are getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Stay tuned because pretty soon we'll have the playoff selection show where we'll show you the brackets and show you who's going to win, who thinks we're not going to make it far, or who thinks going to take it all. For all of us here, thank you once again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, and thanks for watching. BVG?
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Later.